My experience and most people's human experience with love is it comes and goes, and you're not in control. And if you do go sucked in, you're going to get hurt. So there is this built-in design in the structure of our separate ego that points to an incapacity that we develop as human beings in order to remain intact. Because the very nature of love is to have us merge, to become more than our little ego. And this is quite uncomfortable for territories of the ego that has gone through the normal conditioning, programming, suffering, misery, with parents, with life, and the rest of it. So there is also this capacity to receive, little less the capacity to experience it from an outside source. And this is the nature of love in separation. It seems that it comes from outside sources. We become dependent on mother, on father, on siblings, on teachers, on others to get their attention. And what is attention? I call it a power, but it's also a transmission. For us, when someone attends to us, we're tapping into something of the current that validates our experience. If someone attends to us with greater attention, that more validates our own ability to exist. We grow enriched by the intention of others relative to this experience. Now, what our ego does with it, well, that's another story. We talk about that most of the time. But the point is, it's a movement through the attention, both ours and the world's. And in fact, there is nothing that we perceive, no flower, no person, no idea that doesn't respond to our perception. That there's a reciprocalness that occurs even in inanimate objects or apparent inanimate objects. As our attention goes out and it sees beauty, that objects recognizes at some very fundamental level of consciousness it's been seen and responds. We see it in plants, we see it in our pets, we see it in others that we hold dear. We see how much a young child, I can think of my daughter Sonia, I called her the pest, because at every moment she was trying to get my attention no matter what I was doing. I even have a picture of her when we were traveling in Europe where somebody had written pest on the wall of a building, and I had her, not telling her what I was doing, stand there and took the picture. And then I used it as evidence of how it was for me to raise her as a father. The issue of attention is a very important, essential organizing principle that we carry, even though we grow out of our childhood needs, as we discover something of our own ability to know love, to experience the love of our own life, the discovery, and or the lack of love. And that both are obsessive. Both will draw our attention because it comes right down to the very fundamental design of why we're in existence. So the universe can love. It is only going to be through each of us self-aware being that love can manifest, either to receive or to give, or to know the ocean of love that creation is. Okay, let's go on.
Love allows us to go beyond our limitations naturally. It gives us the capacity to commit, endure, and change in ways not possible without it. When we experience love, we experience a piece of the actualizing force of the whole creation. Love is the most powerful force in the creation to evoke the divine response. It is the greatest prayer. Divine cannot help but respond to love.
So there you go. There's the secret. That's the secret of how to progress spiritually. Love divine. Love God. Worship, devotion is evidence of the current of love, the primal current of love that you're evoking through your repetitive attending to it. You're attending to it not just with your attention, but with your more and more your whole being, with your heart, with your gut, with all the parts of you, with your whole body. Then we begin to integrate what it is divine is. And it's not that the idea of divine or the image of divine or the image of the person who we're worshiping as divine is the source of the love. Ultimately, we recognize that loving is evidence of love manifesting in us. Worship is evidence of our own ability to create love.